Hey there, welcome to this video where we're going to be going over the start of a Minish Cap speedrun, all the way from the creating and setting up a file to the beginning of the first dungeon. So let's get straight into it. Yeah, when at the beginning, when you first want to set up a new file, you'll probably have a file already at some other point in the game. Just to make sure that you've got a file that is going to be at the beginning of the game. You want to see it, you just have a look at Link. Link's wearing a hat in this. You don't need to, there's also other things like the health and the sword and the elements, but if you just have a look at the like Link's wearing Eslo, like that's the thing that tells you. If Link doesn't have a hat on, then you've got a file that's set up for that. So yeah, to get rid of the file that's already existing, you press A. The first option is to start the file. This one is copy, but the one on the far right is what we want. This is delete. It hovers over no initially, so we want to go over to yes, and it will delete this file. I'm going to set up a new file. I like to use the smiley face. You can press L to shift the keyboard to another layout. Right, so and also before starting a run as well, we need to make sure that we set the text speed to fast. So on our file, we press R, move the cursor on the top to the right option, and this sets the text speed to fast, which is going to be very important for a speed run where we want to go fast. And very lastly, but when we start the run, we want to be doing a hard reset. All of this is going to be demonstrated on the emulated version of the game. And for leaderboard verification purposes, we need you to have the BIOS enabled and do a hard reset to show the BIOS for the GBA at the beginning of your run. That is all covered in the how to get how to start speedrunning the game. I've got a tutorial video on that, which will be linked in the description, that you can use to go about how do you get everything set up program-wise before you even start learning how to do the speedrun. But when you start doing a run, the first thing we do is a hard reset. So you can go to, since we're doing this in BizHawk, you go to emulation, and you can press reboot core or hard reset, and it will it won't do that because I've got my settings wrong. Quickly adjusting my settings there. Yeah, please do a hard reset. Oh no. There we go. There's the hard reset. Need to reset all of my RNG values. We're going to mash through the text screen, and this is really important there. We were mashing through the text screen, and then we start our timer on the input which loads the file. So when we select the file, the first input when we get to the file select screen is that we open up the file. And then we get those three options where we chose the delete option before. To start the run, we press either A or start on that first option, and it will start the file and put us into the intro cutscene like this. That input that starts the that says the confirmation on that file is the input which is the same that starts the run. So a lot of us use the auto splitter, which will automatically turn on at this point. But for people who are doing manual, using manual, like pressing the button to do your splits, that's when you do your split. It's the same time that you press the intro to start the run. Right, so why was it really important to mash there? It's because the start of the run has a RNG manipulation to get a blue rupee, and that's why I've got the RNG thing in the top left corner. But very importantly here, we're going to mash through all of these text boxes. You need to hold B and then mash different direction inputs, or any combination of A, R, direction inputs, and start, well, okay, not start, will advance text boxes. So we start the run here. This is the first place we have control of Link. This room, we do 2 rolls into the next room. That's the only thing you need to do. 2 rolls exactly. You can't do any different amount. You can't do 1, can't do 3. Has to be exactly 2. And now we advance text through these text boxes. Very importantly, we need to make sure that we're holding B down throughout all of these text boxes. The RNG would advance differently if we're not holding down B, so we do really need to make sure that we're holding down B as we all of these text boxes open up. So we open this chest to get 20 rupees, we come over to this pot, pick it up and throw it, and that's going to always give us a blue rupee. If we don't get a blue rupee from that, we did the RNG manipulation wrong, and you want to restart the run and try and get the manipulation again. It's not a difficult thing. You really shouldn't do a run that doesn't get this blue rupee at the start, because it's really important to get the rupees right at the beginning here. And then from this point on, it's just movement throughout this part. So we do 2 rolls to leave Link's house, advance Zelda's text box there, we roll left here, hop down off of here, go up into her text box here, advance that, roll up again to trigger Zelda again, text box, another text box. We're just following Zelda here, going up into the festival. So from here in the festival, we're going to advance Zelda's text box, and then we're going to follow her up here. So it's like about 5 rolls up, and then we do 1 left. We don't want to talk to that girl if we like roll too far to the left. We want to talk to Zelda. We come up here and we roll a couple times, 3 times there, advance to text, roll twice here, talk to Zelda, advance text, roll twice, 3 times possibly if you feel like it. And then this is a long sequence of advancing text here, so we just, as all of these text boxes come up, we advance it 1 at a time. This is a fairly protracted period where we're just like, there's a lot of text boxes going on with gaps in between, and sometimes there aren't gaps in between. It's all gonna be like building up the memory of when those text boxes come up, so you're not mashing the entire time. But then after that, we just roll straight up through town, exit town, come up through here. We're gonna get to the Deku Scrub section here, advance Zelda's text again, pull out the shield, stand here again, wait for the scrub text boxes to appear, and advance the text boxes there. Then we're going to do like a roll up and a roll left, and then we're going to roll up here, and we're going to roll up into the castle. Now here, we want to just roll directly up. You can do like a little bit of left inputs here, but you want to hit the trigger for this guy mostly directly in the center of this room. You don't want to go to the left and go in front of the minister, because that risks a soft lock. If we stand in front of this minister and press R and talk to him, it soft locks the game, and we really want to avoid doing that, because we will have to waste 3-4 minutes having to redo the intro again, and we really don't want to do that. And there's no point in moving closer to him anyway, because it's not faster. It's actually faster to just go directly up the center because of where Zelda's position is here. So as we advance these text boxes, Zelda's going to have to move into position there, and because she moved very small amount there, but if we went over to the left, she would have to go further. It turns out that the position that we landed in here is actually the fastest to do that, so just bear that in mind. The here, just roll straight up. And now we're just going to get a lot of text boxes here. There's a big long text box here. Big pause gap as the cutscene plays out. Guy steps forwards, and then we advance text. Vati starts walking up. Vati gets about halfway up here before a text box appears. Yeah, it stops about there, and then turns around with another text box. The guards start deploying. The first set of guards is going to come in, and then the second guards are going to get ready, and then there's going to be a text box. And now this is quite a long period here where nothing's going to happen. Betty's going to shoot the electricity, he's going to blow up the chest, and all of the monsters are going to fly out. After all of the monsters have flown out, Betty's going to move over to the left. And they're going to meet, and when they stop moving, there's a text box. And then Link's going to get in the way, and there's another text box. And then Zelda's going to yell. Vati's going to turn around. Oh, well, he doesn't turn around. Zelda turns to stone. There's a text box. Batty moves over to the chest, turns around, then does the last text box of this cutscene. Now, here, to get out of bed quickly, we're going to mash A, and you can either mash A and start, or A and B works well as well. We're going to roll left, down, and left to get past the maid. The maid's got some crazy RNG there. Sometimes she'll get in the way or not, but you have to judge where she is in the room to try and, like, avoid her. And now here we got way more text boxes here. The smith talks first, then the king, then the smith, then the king, then the minister, then the king, then the smith, and it's all just like you just match through all of these. You get the sword. The king sends the guards off, talks to you a little bit more. Smith comes over, gives you the map. Then you get the map screen. Here you have to mash differently. You have to mash the same as what we did over in the bed. You're actually going to mash A and start to advance the map screen. The map screen won't advance if you do direction inputs up, down, left, or right. That won't progress the map. You have to do you have to press A or start to do that. And then this is the last text box after the map screen closes. The king's gonna say goodbye, and now we have control of Link. I'm gonna roll down in this direction, rolling through the castle on our way out. So there's different ways of like how you can roll. You can either just like, if you feel like you can mash the entire time that you're like mashing the R button the whole time, go for it. But you probably will, like if you're just starting out, you're gonna burn out quickly on the amount that you have to roll in this game. So you can try and like time and get a feel for the timing of how Link rolls. So you it's exactly 28 frames long, each of these rolls, which turns out to be just over half a second. Sorry, just under half. Yeah, just under half a second. So it's just over 2 rolls per second that you're doing it. So you can get into the rhythm here of pressing the R button as Link gets to the end of this roll. And yeah, so getting a rhythm of like how Link can roll is really good for being able to go quickly. And the less time you spend doing a little bit of a walk in between your rolls, the faster Link will be able to move through these rooms. So yeah. Right, after we leave the castle, we're gonna roll down until we exit the courtyard. And here we're gonna roll down to the middle of these trees here, and we're gonna roll to the right. I'm going to just dodge the thorns there, and we're going to roll down here, hop down off this ledge, roll down twice here, roll past this guy. This is where enemy RNG is going to start getting into play. All of the enemies from this point on start from a fixed position as soon as you enter the room, but then you see how rapidly the RNG is moving in the top left hand of the screen. That's going to determine the directions that the enemies are going to move, so it's all going to be essentially random, and the skill is going to come from being able to spot where they are, how they're moving, and quickly planning how you're going to avoid them. That's a lot of the skill that is involved in the speedrun, is quickly analyzing and interpreting how the enemies are moving and how you should react to them. But yeah, so ideally we avoid that guy, roll up to these trees here. I'm going to slash the trees and roll to the right to do a screen transition. Roll right and down here. These 2 guys here are probably going to spawn in the way, so you have to avoid them, and we're just going to roll right, down and right, and we're going to go to the next screen here. Now here's going to be this Octo here gets in the way. We're kind of trying to roll through him, or luckily for me on the first time through, he just stood out of the way. Then there's going to be this guy. He spawned nicely out of the way. Sometimes he spawns around here, right in the way here, but you roll down past there, and then roll to the right to enter Minish Woods. Now from here, we're going to roll over to the right to roughly this tree area here. We can roll down, and depending on where that guy is, normally he's hanging around here, so we want to roll through him, or if he's directly in the way, we do a sword slash to kill him, and then we can roll past him. We're going to roll up to these bushes here and roll right past these trees like this, over this bush, over this bridge, and then roll down past these trees here, and down to where this log is, and we're going to roll to the left. Roll up here, roll left, up, and left again, and then hit this Eslo trigger here, and there's going to be a text box. And then there's more text boxes from Eslo. He gets hit twice. Roll to the right, and down and right again, rolling through this area here, over to the stump, and then we're going to roll up through here, until we hit this Eslo trigger again. Now here, Eslo's going to do several text boxes, he's going to get hit twice, and then here we roll up, slash this guy, and slash that guy, and then stand in front of Eslo. So that's our first fight of the game. And then here we're just going to be advancing text boxes again. When Eslo starts moving, we're going to roll down and advance text box, roll down, advance text box, and finally third time, roll down and advance text box. And then here, Eslo's going to slap Link on the forehead, and then do a last text box. Pause before we get control, and then start rolling down here. Roll into this trigger here, advance the text box, jump onto the tree stump, and whilst we're on the as we're jumping up onto the tree stump, we're mashing R to start shrinking as soon as possible. Now we get a long cutscene here as we're on the stump. As we get out of the stump, there's going to be a text box, so we're going to advance text. We don't want to be mashing R here, because if we mash R, we're going to grow, and we really don't want to do that, because it'll waste all of this time here where we're having to we grow and then shrink again. So you're just holding B and mashing A in directions there. And then we want to get away from the stump before we start rolling to the left, and we're going to roll to the left, roll down once, and then roll to the left again. Now here we're going to grab this lily pad. We get off the lily pad. We just wait on the lily pad as it goes all the way around, and then we're going to roll up through this area here, avoiding these acorns. And then in this room, we're going to roll up twice to start this cutscene here. Eslo talks to us, and then all of the Minish jump out. The Minish hop up in the air before they speak, so you can predict when the text box is going to appear very easily there. And then Eslo finally talks, and then we get control again. So we're going to roll to the right and up through here, left, and then up here. And we're going to go to this house here across the water. So we roll up here, talk to this guy, long text box there, and then exit the house again. We're going to go the opposite way now. We're going to go to the right, left, down, and we're going to go to the barrel in this spot here. Here we're going to roll up. We're going to push this to the right, roll up and left. Press R or A to trigger the activating the Jabbernet. Then we get the text box of the Jabbernet. We're going to roll to the right, and we're going to roll down a couple times, and we're going to roll to the left, and then walk up the ladder. We're going to roll to the left here, roll down, roll left, and then roll up through here. And then we're going to roll over to the left, and we're going to go talk to this guy in this house. Up the ladder and roll up, and then talk to this guy. Eslo's going to interrupt us a bit as well and talk to us again. Here's a map where we're going to mash A and start. And then we're going to advance the text box after the map, and then we're going to roll down out of the house. After this house, we're going to move to the right slightly, and then roll down, and then hop off. It's faster to hop down here than to climb down the ladder. And then from here, we're going to roll to the right a bunch of times. And there's going to be some Minish in the way here, so we're going to walk up a little bit before rolling to the right, and then roll up into this house here. Roll up, talk to this guy, make him move out of the way, and then we're going to roll past him out of the house. Moving up left, we're going to roll into here, and then roll through all of these tunnels here, and then roll up into the first dungeon, Deepwood Shrine. So that is the introduction of the game. This should take roughly 10 minutes to do to get through from starting your file to getting to Deepwood. Absolute perfect execution from top runners can just about hit just below the 10-minute mark, but generally when you first start out, you'll probably hit about mid 10-minute time, so 10:30ish, something like that. And then as you just practice and get more used to the cutscenes and where you need to roll and the text boxes and everything, you'll just slowly reduce down that time until it's just over the 10-minute mark. You shouldn't worry too much about what time you're getting as you're hitting into Deepwood Shrine, though, because far more important things are going to happen later in the run, which are actually going to determine how your run goes. But that is where I'm going to leave this video here. That's just going to be the introduction for the game, and we're going to pick up with Deepwood Shrine in the next video. But thank you for watching, and see you later.